Monday, June 16, 2025, AGNDD intelliReport topic. Juneteenth. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated article-based video. Explore the rich history and cultural significance of Juneteenth, America's second Independence Day, commemorating the end of slavery with vibrant celebrations and educational initiatives. Juneteenth, celebrated on June 19th, is the longest-running African-American holiday, often called America's Second Independence Day. It commemorates the end of slavery with goals to celebrate, educate, and agitate. Early celebrations included baseball, fishing, and rodeos, often held at churches due to segregation. Modern observances are multicultural, featuring public readings, traditional songs, and works by African-American writers. Celebrations include picnics, cookouts, and cultural exhibitions, emphasizing African-American heritage and voter registration. Red foods symbolize resilience and joy. The Black Seminoles in Mexico celebrate a similar festival, and many former British colonies observe Emancipation Day on August 1st. President Abraham Lincoln announced the Emancipation Proclamation on September 22, 1862, to take effect on January 1, 1863, freeing enslaved people in Confederate states, including Texas. However, enforcement depended on the presence of Union troops, which was minimal in Texas, leading to slow and inconsistent application. Consequently, slavery expanded in Texas until Union General Granger's order on June 19, 1865, which was 900 days after the proclamation's effective date, 71 days after General Lee's surrender, and 24 days after the Confederate military in Texas disbanded. During the American Civil War, emancipation occurred at different times across the southern U.S., leading to various celebrations known as jubilees. These took place on several dates, including September 22, January 1st, and July 4th. In Texas, emancipation was celebrated on June 19, 1865, as the Southern Rebellion ended. Although this date didn't mark the absolute end of slavery, it became a significant day of commemoration across the U.S., known as Juneteenth. This day, created and preserved by African Americans, honors the wartime end of slavery. The Emancipation Proclamation, issued by Lincoln in 1862 and finalized in 1863, declared freedom for enslaved people in Confederate states. Despite Confederate General Lee's surrender in April 1865, Texas remained resistant until Union Major General Granger enforced emancipation in June 1865, informing Texans of the slaves' freedom. This marked Juneteenth, celebrated as the end of slavery, though full emancipation in all states came with the 13th Amendment in December 1865. Texas's enslaved population had swelled due to fleeing slaveholders, and the freedom of enslaved people was solidified through Texas Supreme Court decisions from 1868 to 1874. Juneteenth, originally known as Jubilee Day, began in Texas on June 19, 1866, marking the anniversary of General Order No. 3, which announced the freedom of enslaved people in Galveston. Early celebrations served as political rallies to educate newly freed African Americans on voting. Due to segregation, Black communities purchased land for celebrations, such as Houston's Emancipation Park in 1872. Juneteenth quickly gained popularity, with thousands attending events across Texas, including a large gathering in Limestone County. The term Juneteenth emerged in the 1890s and spread beyond Texas by 1909, signifying the growing recognition of the celebration. In the early 20th century, Juneteenth celebrations declined due to disenfranchisement and Jim Crow laws, which marginalized Black people. Many sought to assimilate, distancing themselves from their past, while others couldn't celebrate due to work constraints. The Great Depression further hindered celebrations. However, from 1936 to 1951, the Texas State Fair revived interest, with significant gatherings like the 1938 celebration in Dallas. Governor James Allred proclaimed June 20, 1938 as Emancipation Day. The Great Migration spread Juneteenth to the North and West, but the Civil Rights Movement in the 1950s and 1960s shifted focus, leading to another decline in observance. Juneteenth experienced a revival as Black communities connected their ongoing struggle for equality with the end of slavery. The Southern Christian Leadership Conference designated June 19th as Solidarity Day during the 1968 Poor People's Campaign. This sparked large celebrations in cities like Minneapolis, Milwaukee, and across the eastern U.S. Houston and Fort Worth, Texas, resumed large-scale events in the mid-1970s with significant attendance. By 1979, Texas recognized Juneteenth as a state holiday. The late 1980s saw major celebrations in California, Wisconsin, Illinois, Georgia, and Washington, D.C., marking Juneteenth's growing significance as a symbol of freedom and equality. In 1979, Al Edwards, a Democratic state representative from Houston, successfully made Juneteenth a paid Texas state holiday. He initiated the annual Al Edwards Prayer Breakfast and celebration at Ashton Villa, a historic site linked to the Civil War. The event features a reenactment of Major General Granger's order and readings of the Emancipation Proclamation. Despite Edwards's death in 2020, the tradition continues, with his son Jason Edwards participating. In the late 1970s, Texas became the first state to establish Juneteenth as a state holiday, with the legislation passing in 1979 and taking effect on January 1, 1980. Before 2000, 3 additional states recognized the day, and over the next 20 years, it gained official observance in all states except South Dakota, eventually becoming a federal holiday. Since the 1980s and 1990s, Juneteenth has gained wider recognition in the U.S., particularly among African American communities, with increased mainstream attention. The holiday's significance was highlighted by exhibitions such as the 1991 Smithsonian's Juneteenth '91 Freedom Revisited, and through literature like Ralph Ellison's 1999 novel Juneteenth. The Juneteenth flag, created in 1997, symbolizes freedom and a new era for African Americans. Media portrayals and corporate recognition have further popularized the holiday, with companies and universities acknowledging it as a paid holiday or day of reflection. The 2020 film Miss Juneteenth celebrates African American women's empowerment. Juneteenth was first recognized by federal legislation in 1996, with further resolutions passed in 1997. Activists, including Lula Briggs Galloway and Opal Lee, campaigned for its recognition as a federal holiday. By 2016, 45 states acknowledged Juneteenth, and Lee, known as the grandmother of Juneteenth, led a symbolic walk to advocate for its federal status. On June 17, 2021, Juneteenth was declared a federal holiday, with Lee present as President Biden signed the bill. It became the first new federal holiday since Martin Luther King Jr. Day in 1986 and falls within the Honor America Days period. Juneteenth, first recognized by Texas in 1980, has gradually gained recognition across the U.S. By 2019, 47 states and D.C. recognized it, though only Texas initially offered it as a paid holiday for state employees. Following George Floyd's murder in 2020, 9 states, including New York and Virginia, designated it a paid holiday. By 2024, 27 states and D.C. have made Juneteenth a paid holiday for state employees, with others maintaining ceremonial observances. Local governments may also recognize it, and some states rely on annual decisions rather than statutory recognition for paid observance. Juneteenth became a U.S. federal holiday on June 17, 2021, after President Joe Biden signed the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act, following its passage in Congress. This marked the first new federal holiday since Martin Luther King Jr. Day in 1983. The holiday, celebrated on June 19th, honors the end of slavery in the United States. Efforts to recognize Juneteenth were supported by activists, the racial justice movement, and political figures. In January 2025, President Donald Trump issued an executive order banning diversity programs in federal agencies, impacting cultural observance planning, yet he still proclaimed Black History Month in February 2025. The provided list comprises a variety of academic sources and publications focusing on the history and cultural significance of Juneteenth and African American history, particularly in Texas. These works include historical analyses, encyclopedic entries, and studies on the cultural and culinary aspects of Juneteenth celebrations. Authors like Annette Gordon-Reed and Charles A. Taylor contribute to understanding Juneteenth's evolution, while others explore its impact on public memory and cultural legacy. The collection highlights Juneteenth's importance as a symbol of freedom and its role in African American cultural heritage. Juneteenth, the story behind the celebration by Edward T. Cotham, Jr., explores the history and significance of Juneteenth, a holiday commemorating the emancipation of enslaved African Americans in the United States. The book delves into the events leading up to June 19, 1865, when Union soldiers announced the end of slavery in Texas, and examines the cultural and historical impact of the celebration. Cotham provides a detailed narrative of the origins and evolution of Juneteenth, highlighting its importance in American history and its role in the ongoing struggle for racial equality and justice. As Juneteenth continues to grow in recognition, it serves as a powerful reminder of freedom, resilience, and the ongoing journey toward equality and justice for all.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD intelliReport, dear viewers. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers!